Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Friday night football on ICRC-TV here at Pat Mancuso Field in Sharonville, Ohio. Princeton High School GMC matchup on tap for tonight. Princeton Vikings hosting Lakota West. I'm Ryan McGahey alongside Greg Miller. Greg, we got a big game here tonight.
Yeah, we're here in week 9. Big game for both teams. Conference game, both looking to cement their spaces in the playoffs as we come to a close with the second to last game tonight.
And looking at your key players tonight for Lakota West, running game, ground and pound, Tom Bolden, first-year coach here at Lakota West, coming over from Colerain, your key player, David Afari.
Yeah, David Afari is really the focal point of the entire offense for Lakota West. 15 touchdowns on the year, third in the conference in rushing yards. If the offense is going to go, it's going to be through him.
And over for Princeton, you're looking at quarterback under center, number 5, Dorian Durham. Princeton kind of plays that back and forth game here. What can you tell us about Dorian?
Well, Dorian was the starter last week, had a huge game in a blowout of Oak Hills, 200 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, has 4 touchdowns and a pick on the year, but will share the backfield with my Jaden Horton as well.
So over for Princeton, my Jaden Horton, you may also see him in the backfield. We're not sure which quarterback we'll see tonight. Either way, they're going to have to put up some points. And we'll talk about that more after the break. Princeton and Lakota coming up next on ICRC-TV.
Again. Wow, what a snap. Upstairs. Back to throw. He just kind of slinks one out there. It picked off. He'll draw up the middle. He's got room. 5. Touchdown, Collins.
Time, no pressure, is going to go to the end zone. Touchdown, Milford Eagles.
Johnny Hill over the middle. He's got Mancini Jackson over Mancini into the end zone. Mancini.
In Pat Mancuso Field here Friday night football here on ICRC-TV. Ryan McGahey alongside Greg Miller getting ready for kickoff here. Let's see if we're ready to check out the keys of the game for Lakota West. Greg, Lakota West is looking to avoid the triple threat that Princeton has at wide receiver. 3 receivers around 300 yards. Want to maintain their strong defensive play for Lakota West. They're only allowing about 15 points per game, which is good for third in the GMC, and then offensively use that ground and pound to help that defense.
Yeah, they're one of the top teams in the league on defense as we get the kickoff up.
Princeton brings up to the 25, backpedals back to the 23, and he's brought down by a host of Lakota West defenders there. And that's where Princeton will start. Let's take a look at the keys of the game for the Vikings.
By number 21, D'Angelo Foster.
Yeah, taking a look at what the Vikings want to do. For Lakota West, David Afari, one of the best running backs in the league. They're really going to have to work hard to slow down that rushing attack. Light up the scoreboard. Lakota West does have a good defense, but Princeton, one of the top offenses in the GMC, so they certainly can score with anyone, and they're going to need to if they're going to want to stay in this game.
Vikings start with twin tight ends and a pistol. Looks like a broken player in the backfield. He went to go fake a handoff or maybe perhaps handle it off. And the running back went the opposite direction of the fake or the handoff. It is Dorian Durham under center.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see Durham start running the ball. He's usually not their more mobile of the quarterback. Horton is, but tries to run there on a broken play and really doesn't get a whole lot there.
Picked up 1 yard. It'll be 2nd and 9. Just past the 25-yard line. 2 tight end set, shotgun. Fakes the handoff, Durham back to pass. And he's got Rodney Harris Jr. for a first down.
Pass from number 5, Dorian Durham was complete to number.
Yeah, and Harris Jr.
Number 87, Rodney Harris Jr.
One of his favorite targets, had 150 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns last week. So expect to see a lot of him today if Durham's going to be the quarterback for the majority of the game.
Back into the pistol now, 2 tight end set. handoff is to Thomas Boyd. Number 7, Thomas Boyd picks up 3 yards to the 40.
That run was by number 7, Thomas Boyd. Tackle made by number 37. Second down for the Vikings.
Greg, if you're the Vikings here, are you going to look to try to score quick, or do you want to try to keep that Lakota West running game off the field?
I think if you're the Vikings, you're going to want to set the tone early. I think you're going to want to get some points here against the Lakota West defense, which does not give up a lot. So any way you can score, maybe score quickly, catch them off guard. And
jet sweep to 21. D'Angelo Foster, he
That
cuts
run
back
was by
across
number 21,
45-yard line.
D'Angelo
Brings to
Foster.
46, he's going to bring up 3rd and 1.
Tackle made by number 10, Walters.
Jet motion sweep around the left side.
Third down for the Vikings.
And you're probably going to see Princeton try to run some maybe different offenses, maybe with the jet sweep, some play action passes, try to keep this Lakota West defense guessing and a little bit off balance, because if they can just pin their ears back, then it's going to be a long day for this
Here's
Princeton
Boyd
offense.
off the right side, big hole off tackle.
That was a big run by number 7, Thomas Boyd.
Hits up about
Tackle made by number
10 yards
26,
on the
Barber.
play.
And after that run, that leads to
Another
our
Viking
Viking
first down.
First down!
Drive a truck through that hole off the right side of that line there, Greg.
Yeah, this Princeton offensive line is big, and they can get the defense off the ball. And you can see right there, Boyd just tons of room, able to lower his shoulder and get a huge gain there to get the Vikings in Lakota West territory.
And again, it's Boyd. It's right up the middle. He breaks a tackle. And he's up to the 20-yard line, still fighting forward. And he brought down at the 20. 22-yard pickup there by Thomas Boyd. And again, talking about holes they could drive a truck through. That one was right up the middle behind the center.
And that leads to another Viking.
Yeah, and Boyd,
First down!
you can tell, even with these big holes, still a physical runner, 6'1", and he's going to get a couple extra yards every time by just fighting through tacklers, as you see him just try to fight to get back to the line of scrimmage there, maybe a gain of a yard.
Number 14, Noah Smith, is in the backfield for Lakota West. Needs Thomas Boyd in the backfield, but to your point, Boyd didn't go down in the backfield. He's able to fall forward and get back to the original line of scrimmage there, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Boyd's a guy that is starting off quickly and had a huge game last week, 3 touchdowns, 162 yards, and looks like he's picking up right where he left off, getting some big runs here for the Vikings early in this game.
2 tight ends set in the shotgun. Quick slant here. Ball's tipped up in the air, and I think it hit the ground. It'll be an incomplete pass, 3rd and 10.
Yeah, it was kind of a dangerous slant right there, and almost picked off by Lakota West, which would have been a huge killer for Princeton here early, trying to get some momentum to start this game.
Durham looking on the quick slant for Burkhalter. Third and 10 for the Vikings. Durham's trying to get a play from coach on the sideline.
Burkhalter's one of those big wide receivers, has the arms to catch anything, 6'3", so certainly a target to look for in the red zone when things kind of come back
Quads up
here.
to the right side. Post over the middle. It's caught into the end zone. Number 10, Jamar Matthews.
Vikings!
Another touchdown throw for Dorian Durham. 3rd and 10. They make the post look easy here, Greg.
Yeah, and you look at with the set that you mentioned on the right side, Lakota West not quite sure how to handle it, and there's some mix-up between some of the defenders, and you see him run free for an easy 6 points for the Vikings.
Now for the point after try. Snap was slow, but handled well.
And of course, it's always good to start off with a touchdown, but especially in this game for Princeton, needed to start quickly. Lakota West only giving up 15, 16 points a game, so when you can get 7 on them in the first 4 minutes of the game, that bodes well for your offense.
Both these defenses actually great coming in. Lakota's averaging about 15.3 points allowed per game, and Princeton's only allowing about 16.8. So both, you kind of can envision a defensive struggle here, but first drive, Princeton goes 75 yards in 3 minutes and 41 seconds.
Yeah, and you can see that West defense gives up less than 100 rush yards per game, which is third in the conference, but they got run over
Yeah, most of
there.
that 75 yards with Boyd on the ground. They had about 40 yards on that drive.
So it would be interesting to see what happens on the next Princeton offensive drive, to see if this Lakota West defense can react to just getting punched in the mouth here in the first 4 minutes.
Here's the kickoff. Fielded at the 10-yard line for Lakota West. That's number 3, Aaron Boyd. Makes a couple of men miss. He gets up to the 26-yard line. That's where Lakota West will take over. And Lakota West, Greg, we're looking at Tom Bolden over there on the sideline. Interesting history for Tom Bolden come over from Colerain.
Yeah, he was the Colerain head coach last year and got him to the state finals, but is over here this year, and his son, Mitch Bolden, freshman, playing quarterback for him. So interested to see the new chapter for him. So far has this Lakota West team rolling at 6-2.
A huge improvement from last year's record.
But his offense is certainly going to have some trouble. There are a few Division I college players on this Princeton defense, #1 in the GMC against the run, so certainly has his work cut out for him in this game today.
It's like an official issue with some equipment perhaps on the Lakota West offensive line. They're getting something situated here. Get to action now. So we got trips here for Lakota West back in the shotgun. Here comes Safari in motion. He takes a handoff around the left side, and he got the corner. He picks up 4, maybe 5, about 5 yards.
#1, Safari.
Safari.
Yeah, Fari, once again, their workhorse. I mean, almost 170 rush attempts this year. Almost 800 yards, and their top receiver. So the one thing that Princeton's going to have to key on every single play is #1 in white.
So Mitch Bolden with a wing T pistol right here. Hands it inside to the first back.
That ball was by number 23, Miller. Tackle made by number 94, Todd Hardy. Third down for the Firebirds.
Yeah, you're going to expect to see Lakota West run the ball quite a bit tonight. Bolden only with 44 pass attempts on the season, so a team that will keep the ball on the ground as much as possible tonight, if they can, as long as they can keep in control of this game.
Bolden with the snap again. It's the first man through. That's Aiden Miller again. We got a penalty flag flying in from the umpire.
That ball was by number 23, Miller.
Looked to be a little bit after the snap, so maybe looking for a hold here, but we'll have to take a
early
look.
indication here in the booth might be a face mask. There'll be a face mask on the Vikings. That'll result in the first
That was
down
on
for
the Vikings face mask.
the Lakota West Firebirds.
And that's tough for Princeton, you know. Get a quick touchdown, force a 3 and out, have all the momentum on your side, but giving this Lakota West team second chances with as good as their defense is not a recipe for success for Princeton tonight.
There's Safari in motion. Bolden looking like he's going to throw. Steps up and does throw. It's number 22, Kurt Riesenberg. He's got the catch and a first down, about 13, 14 yards on the play.
Pass from the quarterback,
And Riesenberg that's only his 7th reception of the year, but
first down.
looked to be comfortable there on the little out route and able to get another first down for Lakota West.
Bolden looked comfortable there, stepping up into the pocket.
Interesting to see Bolden wear number 25, not your typical quarterback number, but he is also a freshman, so might have got kind
his
of.
position listed on the roster is athlete. There's Safari in motion. They fake it to the first man through, and Bolden on the option pitches it to Afari. And Afari has 9, maybe 10 yards.
That ball was by number 1,
I'll call it 11.
Afari.
That'll be another first down from Lakota West.
Tackle made by number
Speaking
9,
of what you
Leroy
just said,
Bowers.
Bolden being listed as an athlete, able to get out on the edge on that
First down
option
for the
play,
Firebirds.
suck the defense in, and flip it out to Afari, who does pick up a first down for Lakota West.
I mean, this is your Tom Bolden offense here. This is what he brought from Coleraine. This is that option offense, that wing tee, that flex ball.
And was very successful with it in Coleraine, and so far has had some early success.
Bolden's going to throw again. He's got a man down the sideline. It looked like Riesenberg diving for it. Just off his hands, incomplete.
Wonder there, a little bit of a wobbly throw. Riesenberg looked like he was between just trying to stretch out and dive for that, but unfortunately not able to corral that one in, and it'll be second down. Certainly with this Viking defense, do not want to get in the long yardage situations, have some big players that can disrupt the defense quite a bit, including Garen Carter, who has 6 sacks, which is third in the GMC.
Bolden fakes it to the first man through, then pitches it to a far on the option around the right side, picks up 5 yards, bringing up 3rd and 5. The Firebirds.
That run was by number 1, Afari. Tackle made by number 25, Christian Gibson. 3rd down for the Firebirds.
Dixon on the tackle for the Vikings.
And now 3rd and 5 in an interesting situation. Might be 4-down territory here for Lakota West.
And Bolden couldn't handle the snap. He did not recover it. I think Princeton might have it.
Fumble on the play.
Yeah, it looks like the ball just popped right out
It
of
is
his
Viking
hand.
ball.
Vikings recover. The fumble was recovered by number 12.
We can hopefully
John
take there. Here's the
Harris.
replay here. If you roll it back even further back there in the truck, if you roll it back even further, you'll see where the snap hit right off his hands. And it looked like he had a chance to recover it, Greg, but couldn't just get a hold of it.
Yeah, looked to try to run with the ball before he really got a hold on it, and that was number 12, John Harris, the junior linebacker, with the recovery there. And critical mistake there for the Firebirds, getting close to the red zone, but just an unforced error, and Princeton will get the ball back after starting fast on offense.
And start on the 27. Man in motion. Here's a pass by Durham. One-on-one situation here. And he just depends on his receiver. Number 87, Rodney Harris, 6'2", 191. Just go up and get it, Greg.
Yeah, after the play fake, saw the one-on-one coverage, and Harris, just taller than the cornerback, trusts his wide receiver, as I said earlier, have a great connection, and threw the ball where only his receiver could get it, and it's a big gain for the Vikings.
He's got Harris and Matthews. Matthews in motion. They hand it to Boyd, and a big hole off the right side. Rumbling, tumbling down to the 27-yard line. Thomas Boyd.
Number 7, Thomas Boyd. And that leads to
Having Matthews come in motion, Greg, it's just enough to hold those linebackers to give Boyd that chance to get through the line.
Yeah, trying to run a little bit of motion right to left, get the defense to kind of shift and think there might be a jet sweep that way, and just a huge hole opens up for Boyd, and he'll pick up every yard he can get. And 2 big plays in a row for Princeton, as this offense is humming at this
Matthews
point.
in motion. Durham's going long. Just a little bit over the head of Rodney Harris Jr.
Yeah, and maybe not quite the best idea there. Looked to be about 3 or 4 Lakota West defenders over there. And a little bit of hand fighting caught Harris up, but thankfully for Princeton, that ball falls over everybody's head for an incompletion.
First drive of the game, Vikings went with a 2 tight end set the entire drive. This drive, they've only had a single tight end with 2 receivers down at the bottom. Matthews and Harris. Up top is number 1, Burkhalter. He fakes it to Boyd. Durham going to the end zone again. I couldn't see, but like 21, perhaps D'Angelo Foster with the touchdown catch. Durham with another great throw.
Yeah, Foster, once again, just a play-action fly route. And they've been doing that a lot, picking on the cornerback on the right side, and Foster gets past the defense, can't recover enough, and Foster has his 4th receiving touchdown of the year to put the Vikings up by 2 touchdowns early in this game.
Another slow snap on the Vikings on the point after try, but it's handled well. The extra point is good by number 49, Michael Everson, senior kicker. So here we are. We're 7 minutes and 41 seconds into this game, Greg. It's 14-0 Vikings.
Yeah, and so far, this vaunted Lakota West defense that we talked about going into the game has just not shown up. You might want to check the buses for them, because so far they've let Lakota West throw over their heads and run right by them. 2 quick scoring drives for Princeton, and now Lakota West kind of behind the 8 ball here. Really needs to show some life, which they were on offense before the fumble on their first drive.
Every time you have a high-ranked defense versus a high-ranked offense, speaking in terms of conference series, Lakota West defense and the Viking offense, you can kind of figure one of them has to give way. So far, it's been the Lakota West Firebirds.
Yeah, it's the old unstoppable force versus the immovable object, and so far the unstoppable force has just run right through that defense.
Good kickoff, Vikings leading 14-0. Short to the right, fielded at the 26-yard line. Got a great play there. Let's see, number 12. Got 10, Jamar Matthews.
Yeah, and you can see the big wide receiver, the big senior wide receiver, Sterling Burkhalter, with the tackle there, making an impact both on offense and on special teams for the Vikings.
Let's see what Lakota West will draw up here for their second drive. With Tom Holden, it's going to be much of the same thing. He doesn't really, even if they're down, he won't start throwing the ball. They're going to keep running the ball. They're going to keep doing what they do.
Well, and it's, not even 8 minutes into the game. Not exactly time to panic and change your entire offense. Just keep with the plan going, and the offense was moving the ball on their first drive until the fumble.
There's Bolden with the snap, first man through. Breaking a couple tackles, penalty flags flying in from everywhere. It's number 23, Aiden Miller, with the carry. About 3 refs threw their flag.
Yeah, it looked to be 2 early and then 1 late, so it'll be interesting to see if they all saw the same thing, or there might be a couple different penalties on this play.
Looks like it's going against the Vikings. Personal foul, face mask, 15-yard variety.
The Vikings. Personal foul against the Vikings, face mask. 15-yard penalty.
Another player down as well for the Vikings.
Yeah, that looks to be number 6, Jaden Scarborough, the wide receiver cornerback. Maybe something with his arm or his hand, so he's getting checked out right now.
Official timeout. Official timeout. You can push this Friday evening is the weekly electronic newsletter with information about Princeton schools. To sign up, visit Princeton website at www.princetonschool.com.
They are holding up that right arm.
Yeah, it looks to be in quite a bit of pain. You wonder, holding his side a little bit, maybe a shoulder injury, but at least good to see him walk off quickly, and we hope he's okay down there.
So the Vikings defense has now gifted 2 first downs to the Lakota West Firebirds.
Yeah, looks like Princeton needs to work on keeping their hands down. So far, 2 defensive penalties, both face masks, and those are killers on any drive, being the 15-yard penalty.
There's Bolden. Keeps it. No, he gave it to the first man through. That's Aiden Miller. 14 yards on the carry. Triple option.
And that's the problem when you're running that wing T triple option. Sometimes you start to guess a little bit as a defense, and it's really about gap discipline. This Princeton defense is so talented, but once they start to get out of their gaps, then it makes it even easier for this offense to run.
Gives it to him again. Another 4 or 5 yards on the carry.
You can see him just trying to set up the fake up the middle, really sticking to handing it off up the middle, seeing what Miller can do, and so far he's gotten 5 yards, 10 yards, 7 yards of carries, so really working so far for this Lakota West offense.
So 3:10 remaining here. 2nd and 5. on the 30-yard line. Fire in motion. And again, it's more up the middle. 4 yards, he'll be close to a first down. Be 3rd and short here.
And right now, this Lakota West offensive line is just pushing back this Princeton defensive line, and Miller's getting a chance to get a couple yards before he gets touched, and he's a bigger kid, so he will fight for every extra yard, and so far 9 yards on the last 2 carries.
He gives it to Miller again. And Bolden's just reading that defensive end. If that defensive end stays home, he gives it to Miller up the middle. It's good for a Firebird first down.
And it looks like Lakota West entering the red zone. Last time they got down here, did fumble the ball, but so far have been moving the ball quickly down the field, even in that slow wing T look. And look to be threatening for their first points of the game.
This time the end crashed down and actually chased down the play from behind. Number 9, Leroy Bowers.
Yeah, and Bowers coming over from a safety spot, moving up a little bit. Usually a guy that will impact the game by picking off passes, 3 interceptions on the year, but right there he was able to read the play well, get into the backfield, and finally slow down this Lakota West offense a little bit.
That's some confusion. Lakota West, Bolden's getting them set up. Zafari in motion. They'll take the handoff, turns it up inside. Only maybe 2 yards there for Afari.
Yeah, but you can see how Afari is able to lower his shoulder and run the ball a little bit. Looked like he might have been grabbed in the backfield, but able to fight forward and at least get something positive out of that and make it 3rd and manageable.
Bring up 3rd and 6. Lakota West looking over to the sideline for the play as they get signaled in by about 4 or 5 coaches. These are just kind of like the signs. You see teams at the boards, and one might be hot and the others are decoys.
Yeah, and you look to see based on the defense, they might call something. And
Afari with motion there is a little fake. Bolden with a pass intended for Riesenberg, incomplete. So bring up 4th and 6. Looks like a field goal team coming on here, Greg.
yeah, Riesenberg just trying to get the ball on the out. They've run that play once or twice so far, and we're able to find him, but that way the defensive or the linebacker looked to get a little bit of contact and kind of throw him off his route and mess up the timing here. It's like about a 33-yard field goal here for Lakota West.
Number 99, Josh Lane is the kicker. Good snap, good hold. It's long enough. And it's through the uprights. 3 points for the Firebirds, 14-3. 40 seconds left in the first quarter.
And you can see they're able to just get his foot into the ball and had plenty of distance right through the middle.
Right by a good 10, maybe 15 yards. Could be good for 45.
And that's always a nice thing to have as a coach. Sometimes, you can have the inconsistency at a kicker. It's nice to have a guy that can make kicks from 30, 40 yards.
On your smartphone device. Follow Princeton athletes on the go. www.fightlation.org or Twitter @FightNation. We'd like to say congratulations to Thomas Boyd and Joshua Younger.
Looking in with 40 seconds left. Princeton 14, Lakota West 3. Princeton looking to receive the kick. Already up 11 points and with an offense that is just humming right now. 2 quick touchdowns and a chance to increase their lead even more on this next drive. West kicks the ball off, fielded at about the 10-yard line. Taken to the left, some good blocking. Looks to be a little bit of room. Breaks a tackle. Breaks another tackle and gets the ball up to almost the 40-yard line.
That was a good line by number 21, Daniel Forsberg.
Looked to be the H-back D'Angelo Foster there with a big return that sets Princeton up in some real nice field position here at about their own 40-yard line.
Princeton offense back on the field, taking over through a 38-yard line.
And I'd look here for an early play-action pass and a shot. Looks like they'll just start with the run, but have certainly had some success here with the long pass on their last drive.
Jake Kiefer, the tackle, leading the host of Firebirds in the backfield.
And certainly looks like a better play than what we saw Lakota West on the first two drives. Maybe got chewed into a little bit after the first drive, but at least on that first play, able to stop Princeton for a minimum gain.
It's going to take us to the end of the first quarter here. Friday Night Football on ICRC-TV. Brian McGahey alongside Greg Miller. 14-3 Viking lead. Not exactly what we expected. You're looking at the two teams, their records, their stats coming in. Thought maybe a closer game, maybe a lower scoring game, especially for Lakota's defense.
Yeah, certainly didn't quite expect to see this first quarter. Princeton has 14, Lakota West only allowing about 16 points a game, so an opportunity by Princeton to come out quick and get after it, and that's really what they've done so far tonight.
And Dorian Durham is very impressive throwing the ball. You mentioned he started last week against No Kills. No Kills is a winless team, but still, good game is a good game, and he had a good game last week, and it looks like he's been rewarded by starting here tonight against Lakota, and he's a much bigger game.
Yeah, Durham had almost 200 yards passing last game, 2 touchdowns, and was able to find his favorite target for 150 yards, Harris Jr., last week, and has gone back to him a couple times today, and he has 3 long plays and a touchdown. As looks like he'll just get that ball away on second down.
They're going to have to look and see if he got the ball back to the line of scrimmage. He was definitely outside of the pocket. And they're going to say that Foster might have been in the area.
For number 21,
so Durham with a smart play, trying to avoid a loss. Looked like they were trying to set up a screen.
Third down for the Vikings.
Yeah, looks like something that maybe took a little bit too long to develop, and West was able to get some tough pressure there on Durham and just had to throw the ball away.
So 3rd and 9. We haven't really seen this situation yet for the Vikings. See what Durham has in store. He's got Matthews in motion. And it is a screen this time, and they do get it set up, and they're going to call, I think they're going to call an illegal man downfield here on the offensive line. As number 30, Ari Turner. The play was well set up, except for the fact I think the line might have been too far downfield. We'll see.
You can see just sucked the defense in, had about 4 defenders behind the play going after the quarterback, and no one in the area, so Princeton able to get a number of yards, although this one might be coming back.
They're waving it off. They talked about it.
Yeah, I think that illegal man downfield might have been waved off because of the pass behind the line of scrimmage. So, looks like they're having a conversation there. That's actually with big number 77 for Princeton, the 5-star Ohio State recruit, the number 1 recruit actually in the state of Ohio.
Good in motion. Boyd's got a big hole, and the referee threw a good block for Thomas Boyd. You'll have to see this on replay. Little linebacker tried to make a tackle on Thomas Boyd. Just watch it here in the middle of your screen. And the referee lays him.
Yeah, you can see him trying to watch the ball. Kind of gets the chicken wing up, and the one defender that looked to have a chance just gets pancakes blocked by the ref.
So again, it's that they're sending Matthews in motion there, and it's just enough to hold the linebackers and get Boyd up the middle, basically untouched to the end zone. That extra point's blocked.
And you saw, as you mentioned, on the first couple extra points,
The snaps have been slow and kind of hard for the holder to get, and taking too long for him to set it up.
yeah, and when you give the defense that much time to get through and get a hand up, that's something that can happen. But though Coach Mike Daniels might not be happy about that, having 20 points on the scoreboard just 36 seconds into the second quarter's got to be something he's pleased about.
So 11:24 left to go here in the second. Vikings are up 20-3. Offense is firing on all cylinders.
And it looks like Princeton's up over 100 yards after that last run, which will actually take them past Lakota West's average for points given up per game and rush yards given up per game. So certainly not your typical Lakota West defensive performance, but this Princeton offense is humming like we saw last week and like we've seen much of this season.
It's like number 23, perhaps Hayden Cobbs, the kickoff for the Vikings. It's a decent kick down to about the 12-yard line. Be returned by number 3, Aaron Boyd. Gets up to the 27-yard line. Lakota West will take over here. 11:21 to work. I imagine they get the ball first in the second half and the third quarter. So Todd Morton's probably going to want to take his time, move the ball down the field here.
Yeah, and not something you can't get 17 points back in one drive. So just going to keep running the offense and try to get some points here and just try to claw back into the game one possession here at a time. Offense has moved the ball, but with 2 long drives, so far only 3 points to show for it.
And there's a handoff to the man in motion, and he gets nowhere. Maybe back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, just looking so far for Lakota West in the first half. Only about 70 yards of total offense, but also helped by 30 yards of penalties by Princeton. So basically 100 yards of total offense and not too much to show for it so far.
Here's Bolden. Miller behind him. Pistol formation. Gives it to Miller. Miller had 8 carries, 37 yards in the first quarter. That's his 9th carry on the game.
Yeah, and they've been very persistent as far as handing the ball off to Miller when necessary. I mean,
that's that triple option offense. He's just reading the defensive ends. If they stay home, he hands it. If they crash, he'll pull it back and run the option with Afari. He's in motion. It's like Bolden might throw. He's got a defender on his back. He avoids him, but he throws the interception. Picked off by the Vikings. It's like number 25. Christian Kilkis-Dixon.
And Dixon able to just jump right in front of the receiver there. Looking for a little rollout pass, and like I said earlier, Bolden has not thrown the ball a ton this year, and when you're throwing on the run, sometimes you lose a little bit of accuracy, stare down the receiver, and Princeton will jump right in and have a chance to make this big lead even larger here early in the second quarter.
So Durham and Boyd will go back to work. See if they try to take a shot here. It's something you like to do after a quick change of possession. They're going to run an option. It's a reverse. And the defense fell for that hook, line, and sinker. That looks like number 21, Foster.
Yeah, and you could really see only one man home there for West. The backside tackle seems to take him out pretty easily, and
so you fake it to Boyd, and it looks like a triple option. Durham's going to run it with Matthews, but instead he pitches it to the man coming in the opposite direction, which was Foster.
And really surprising to see West fall for that. I mean, obviously not expecting it, but being a defense that goes against an offense every day in practice that runs the option, you'd expect to see a little bit more.
Boyd makes one man miss, but really just gets back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be a 2nd and 10. They're at the 12, maybe 12.5 yard line, so they can't get a first down inside the 3.
And will be interesting to see what Princeton does here. Dorian does have 2 passing touchdowns, so have gone to the pass game close to the end zone. Are not afraid to do that.
Burkhalter on the bottom by himself. It's handed to number 30. He makes a couple of men miss. He's still pushing forward. Down to about the 5 yard line. It's Ari Turner.
And you can see some of the pulling tackles there. Johnson Jr. pulling, taking out a couple of defenders, and a lot of room for the run there. And it'll be, what, 3rd and about 2 here for the Vikings to try to convert.
Here's Boyd. He might have the first down here. He's going to be right on the sticks.
Yeah, West was able to get a little bit of push through, but nice little move by Boyd there to
Looks like they're going to call him short with about
get right up to the
4th down for the Vikings.
and 1.
Yeah, it looked like he got pretty close, but they will spot him just about a half yard short, and looks like Princeton will keep the offense out there.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to let that play clock run down and call a timeout and talk about it. And 4th and 1, it's a big play. Might as well take the timeout and be safe and talk about it.
Looks like they were bringing big number 94, Todd Harding, the senior D tackle, in for that play. So it'll be interesting to see if they're just going to try to get some big boy football going on and just try to push across the line for the half or so yard that they need.
Thomas Boyd is big boy enough. And bringing in a defensive tackle to run in front of him. Oh my.
Yeah, will certainly be a challenge, but once again, down here, not a whole lot of space, so something that West is expecting, although they have not been able to stop the run much at all today, so will be interesting to see how they come out of this timeout trying to stop Princeton from getting that half yard or yard that they need for the first down.
This timeout is sponsored by Exercise and Leisure, providing the fitness equipment to strengthen our Vikings this season. Here we go, 4th down for the Vikings.
So we go, 7:14 remaining here in the first half. Vikings lead 20-3, big 4th and 1 here. And they still got the big fella in front of Boyd. They got a couple running backs in front. They hand it to the second man through. It's not Boyd. And they're going to have to talk about this and maybe measure it. No, they're just going to give it right over to Lakota.
Yeah, it looked like
Vikings were short.
they signaled it pretty much right away.
Firebirds will take over first down.
See just the quick handoff there to one of the up men.
Look at number 19, Darion Henry.
Henry just not able to get. Henry also a defensive end, but just not able to get the half yard or so needed. And Lakota West comes up with a huge stop, already down 3 scores, but an opportunity to try to cut into this lead before halftime.
Let's take it over on their own 3 yard line. Golden snaps, gives it to Afari. It's maybe a half of a yard before he's met. stopped
bumper
very
by number
abruptly.
1, Afari.
Number 2.
Tackle made by number 2, Kevin
Will be
Shuttle
interesting to
Jr.
see how Lakota West handles this
Second
drive.
down for the
Did have
Firebirds.
Bolden throw his 4th pass of the game on the last drive, and it was picked off. So we'll see how confident they are to go back to Bolden if they get in another 3rd and long situation.
Fari behind Bolden. Gets another yard or 2. A little bit of breathing room here.
That bumper by
So
number
bring up
1,
third.
Afari.
About 6, maybe 7, which tends to be difficult for option
Tackle by
offenses.
number 12, John Harris.
Yeah, the big key to the option offense, as you see it more in high school, but a little bit in college too, is
Third down
being
for the
able to get that
Firebirds.
4 yards of carry to stay ahead of the chains and keep things moving. When you're only getting 1 or 2 yards of carry, you get yourself in these long 3rd down situations where you have to have a guy like Bolden who does not throw the ball a lot, have to throw a lot of passes. That can lead to some mixed results.
He's going to throw. It's a quick screen out to Riesenberg. He cuts back inside, and he's going to be short of the 1st down.
Pass was complete.
Yeah, it looks to be about a yard or 2 short of
3 to number
the stick
22,
here.
Player
Riesenberg.
down for the Vikings. He's withering around in pain. Might have got stepped on.
Official timeout on the field.
So they'll take a look at the player that's down. And they'll give Tom Bolden a chance to talk over what he wants to do on this 4th and a long 1. UMS the kind of thing that you have to punt it here. 4th and a long 1 on your own 12, 13 yard line, but down 20-3. You get the ball first next half, it might make you think twice.
Yeah, you wonder the confidence in this offense right here. You know, obviously the option offense is meant to get quite a few points, so.
That was the gentleman that just ran the ball on the offensive side a minute ago, Henry.
Yeah, Henry, a big part of this offense, or this defense, the 260-pound senior, one of the top recruits in Ohio, another Ohio State commit, and one of the 3 stars of this Princeton defense. So hopefully he's okay, or that'll be a big blow to this defense.
So here we go. Decision time for Tom Bolden, and that
Here
looks
we
like
go,
the
4th
offense.
down for the Firebirds.
Yeah, there's Bolden in the offense coming right back out.
Bolden under center. Looks like that's the first time tonight this year. Traditional wing T action offense. They're trying to get Princeton to jump. I don't think Princeton's going to fall for it. I don't think they're going to snap the ball here. They might. I don't think they're snapping.
Yeah, it does not look like it with the last 2 seconds on the clock. And
There's a timeout now. I imagine the punt team's coming.
Timeout Firebirds.
great discipline there by Princeton. You know, a chance after a little bit of a stoppage, trying to draw them off sides, but they were
This
moving
timeout
side to
sponsored
side,
by
trying to
Under
create a little
Armour,
bit of havoc,
a proud
but
sponsor
great
of
discipline by
Princeton
them not to
Athletics.
jump off, even though West was working really hard to try to
Be sure to
get
visit
that last
Dick Sweeney in
yard or so
Tri-County,
through
a
penalty.
proud
So
sponsor and a
looks
love
like
of
West
Princeton
may have used their
Athletics.
one trick and will punt it back to Princeton.
We'd like to thank you for doing
Still
your part
work
to
this
keep
up
the
here on
facilities
your
in
offense on
excellent
the
condition.
field. Go for it.
Please use the appropriate bins for garbage and
I don't
recycling
see that.
located throughout the
Yeah,
stadium.
you'd be interested why you would try to
We also would like to invite
get them
all
off
community
sides
members.
and then
They are invited to
run
the
the-
free Veterans Day concert held
The hard
on
way's running.
November
The easy way is
11th
just getting them to
at
jump off
7
sides.
p.m. in Matthews
expect maybe
Auditorium.
go on 3, get them off, try to get them to jump off sides a couple times. Then when they don't think you're going to run the play, just snap the ball and
Maybe
try to
reload
dive
and
forward.
go instead of wasting the timeout. Each team with 2 timeouts left. 5:05 here remaining in the second quarter.
Big decision here for West, already down big here in the second quarter. And it looks like they're bringing the offense back out, running
They're trying
onto
to
the
line up
field.
and quick snap it here. They do snap it. It's Afari around the left side. He's got the first down. He's got the corner. He's up to the 20-yard line.
And
That run was by number
risky,
one,
but
Afari.
looked to be a smart play there by
First
Coach
down.
Tom Gold. Kind of faking like they're going to go right up the middle, get everybody tight, and then have Afari just run to the outside and use his speed to get to the edge and get a first down.
As soon as the refs blew the whistle to signal the end of the timeout, Dakota West offense came sprinting on the field and lined up and tried to quick snap on the Viking defense.
Yeah, just trying to catch them, off balance as much as possible, not give them the full chance to read the formation before they snap it.
Holden keeps it himself. He's met in the backfield.
Quarterback is set in the backfield.
Kevin Suttles Jr.
Yeah, and there looked to be a
Number
whole
9,
host
Leroy
of
Bowers.
Vikings that were not
Second down for the Firebirds.
confused by that play. They all got right through the line, saw that handoff didn't happen, and got Golden for a couple-yard loss.
Safari in motion. Miller. Again, first, the Viking defenders. They only meet Aiden Miller at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and it looks like maybe during that last break for the defense, they got coached up a little bit, and it looks like they're really plugging up the middle here. And so far, these first two plays have not gone well for the Dakota West. And that really puts their offense in a pinch, being 3rd and 10 plus.
So here's Bolden with Miller to his right. Afari set up in the wingback situation to throw to the right. Bolden the throw. Takes the quick screen. Going long here. And it's a errant throw.
Pass from 25 Bolden was incomplete. Intended for
number 2, Alex Afari, who is,
Afari.
I'm going to assume would be David's younger brother.
Fourth down
Somehow
for the Firebirds.
stands 6'3", or his older brother is about 4 or 5 inches shorter.
Yeah,
He got the height genes.
look to get a little bit more of the height genes, and well-run play, able to get past the cornerback. Safety was able to come over, but certainly had a chance to make the catch. The throw just a little bit too long for him, and falls to the ground for 4th down.
So now the Firebirds will punt. Kind of like Vikings might have a chance to block that, but they kind of gave up on it. Slowed up on it, more or less. And we got a flag coming in late.
Yeah, it looks like they'll have good field position. Will be interesting to see what the flag is. Looks like it was right about where the tackle was, so. And looks like the Princeton coach might not be super happy there. Yeah, calling the blind side block there on Princeton, so that'll negate 15 yards of the really good field position that they had to start this drive.
Flag is against the Vikings. Personal
I
foul.
believe that'll go 15 yards from the spot.
Once again, that's one of the things that it's a big point of emphasis for the referees to catch that. If a guy's looking the wrong way and you throw a block on him kind of against the motion of the play, it could be a very dangerous play. So something that the refs are going to be very cognizant of, and it goes against the Vikings for a 15-yard penalty, but still decent field position to start for them at about midfield.
See what Durham has in store here. Foster's in motion. He hands it to Foster. And he gets nowhere. Number 37 for the Firebirds is in the backfield. Isaac Kolisic.
Yeah, kind of a slow developing jet sweep there. Firebirds able to get some guys in the backfield and stops them for a loss of it. Looks to be about 4, so 2nd and 14.
Not very many negative plays tonight for the Vikings offense. That's one of the very few.
Yeah, only have had about 2 or 3. Usually Boyd is running through some wide open holes, so interesting to see kind of a big stance here for Dakota West.
Durham throws a pick over the middle. That's number 12. He's going to have a chance for a big return here if he can get a block. He does. He cuts back inside that block. He's at the 5. He's going to go into the end zone for a pick-6 touchdown. That is exactly the kind of swing, momentum swing that the Vikings didn't want.
Yeah, and that's David Jones, one of their senior leaders on defense. The Cincinnati commit, the 6'2 linebacker, just is sitting there in a zone, sees the quarterback's eyes, and picks the ball off, gets a couple blocks, and
I think Durham
runs
saw
it back.
Durham saw the defensive end on the top side of the field, number 97, come off the end unblocked, and I think he panicked and tried to throw a quick pass over the middle, and Jones was there to take it to the house.
And, interesting to see Lakota West got that big stop on 4th down, maybe gave their defense a little bit of momentum. First 2 plays afterwards, a big loss and a pick 6. So it will be interesting to see if this Lakota West defense has finally woken up after giving up 3 touchdowns early in the game.
Extra point is up and good by a mile, and it's 20-10 now. Vikings will have 2 minutes, 14 seconds, and 2 timeouts to try to put some more points on the board. But when you do that, you see what happened just on the previous play. The interception, the pick 6. If they try for more, there is the possibility of giving the ball back up to the Firebirds again.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see what they do here. Expect to see maybe 1 play action shot, possibly to Harris Jr., which looks to be Doran's favorite target. But if not, you would assume they'd try to suck some of the life out of this clock and get to halftime before Lakota West can get any more opportunities to try to get any more momentum before halftime, because they have gotten the lead down to 10 and do get the ball to start the second half.
So Josh Lane will get set to kick it off for the Firebirds. Kicking off from his 40-yard line. It's a deep kick. Fielded at the 9-yard line.
Look to get a couple blocks and maybe a lane on the outside, but that closed up quickly.
Looked like he took a hand inside the face mask there as he got tackled.
Yeah, I was about to say, it looked like he was rubbing his eye. Looked like he might have gotten poked in the eye there as he was going
that
down.
or some of those black rubber pellets that lay underneath the field, getting up in your eye.
Yeah, that's always tough on these turf fields. When you're bouncing around on the turf, those things can get everywhere.
I'll take the black rubber pellets over the old carpet burn of the old artificial turf any day.
Oh, yeah, those things were miserable. They're basically like concrete underneath them.
Comes man in motion, and it's Boyd off the right side. 4 or 5 yards for Thomas Boyd, maybe 6. Bring up 2nd and 4.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see here if they're just going to take their time on offense, which looks like they might, huddling it up. Look to be in no hurry to get any plays off, and look to be content going into halftime, up 20-10.
Here's Durham. Little play action fake here. He's got room to run on the left side. He does not choose to. Instead, it's caught by Burkhalter. And it'll be a first down. The clock will stop while they move the chains.
And great vision there by Durham to, even though he was, rolling out to his left, keeping his eyes downfield, Burkhalter able to see kind of a scramble drill, come back to the ball, and they're able to get a first down there. Maybe start speeding up this offense.
It's going long here. You called it. That's the Harris, and he didn't really have a chance to go up and try to even get that ball. So he had a defender in his face the entire time. Vikings sideline wants a flag. Can't say I disagree.
Yeah, looked to be a little bit of hand fighting there. Maybe a little bit of an arm by Harris to start off. Referee seemed to just act like either both guys were hand fighting or both guys going for the ball, and not going to throw anything on that play.
That was William Barber on the defense for the Firebirds. There's that shot you were talking about, the play fake, and then the shot going up for Rodney Harris.
Yeah, and Harris setting up on that right side has had some big plays against Barber, but Barber able to lock down there and force the incompletion.
Here's Boyd. He's going to try to bounce it outside, and he's met by 4 or 5 Lakota West defenders, and now Lakota West with a negative play here forced. They're going to call a timeout because it's going to be 3rd and 14.
Yeah, try to force them to punt before the end of the half. Maybe force a block or something, or give their offense a little bit of time.
If you get a good return, remember their field goal kicker. We've seen him, both his field goal and his extra point. Looks like he could hit from at least 40.
Yeah, so could be something that they're looking for here. Long play, be interesting to see if Princeton just tries to force Lakota West to use their final timeout, or maybe try another play action cross to try to get a first down and keep things going to make sure Lakota West has no chance to get the ball for the rest of the first half.
Third down for the Vikings.
We'll see what Mike Daniels and his staff has drawn up here. He's got 4 receivers, 2 on each side. Durham and Boyd in the backfield. And we have a whistle stopping the play. No flags on the field. So they just might restart the play.
Possibly someone not in position, or
I'm thinking the ready whistle wasn't quite blown yet. So they get a new 25-second play clock here. They got him stacked. They throw out quick to Foster. Foster with the catch. Stay in bounds. He ran out of bounds, and they'll say that he got forced out, which will keep the clock running and force Lakota to use her last time out. Tom Bolden's asking why the clock was running. It's because I believe the high school ruling on down is if there's any kind of action by the defense that forces you to go out of bounds and keeps the clock running.
yeah, depending on the level, some of them, if it's under a certain amount of time, they will stop the clock regardless. But yeah, it looks like they're keeping the clock running and forcing West to use their final timeout.
Yeah, I was told that basically the player has to step out on their own without any push or aid from the defense at all.
So it looks like Lakota will have about 40 seconds here to try to manufacture something, whether it's a big return or a block, to try to maybe get some points and get this to a one-score game before halftime.
I'd put their target line at the 23 for their kicker. That'd be a 40-yard field goal.
Once again, do get the ball first to start the second half, so certainly anything that they can do here for points would be a huge boost for them going into halftime.
High snap here. He's able to get it and get the kick off. Does not take a fair catch. Makes the man miss. He gets about 6 or 7 yards. Does bleed off about 11 seconds off the clock, though.
Yeah, so only about 30 seconds here, and West's offense not exactly set up for a 2-minute drill, so it will be interesting to see what they do here. I believe the last time they tried to throw a downfield pass, it was picked off, so it will be interesting to see what Bolden and the offense do right here.
It's going to start with trips to the bottom. Aiden Miller lined up to the left for Bolden, a solo receiver up top. Bolden's going to throw. Pressure immediately. Throw is high and right through the hands of a defender. Looked like number 4 for Princeton, Elijah Eberhardt.
Eberhardt does have an interception on the year, but just not able to get that one. And you can see right as the ball goes through his hands go to his head, knows that he gave away a big opportunity there. Had some grass in front of him.
So second chance here for Bolden. They'll be back to their regular offense here, the green T pistol. It's Miller, the first man through. they don't have any timeouts, so they're going to have to hurry up here and
That's going to be by number
call a
3,
play, or they might just be content to let it go.
23, Miller.
They are trying to call a play. 10 seconds and counting. It's just going to have to be a. You're going to have to throw it downfield and hope the guy can break a tackle.
For the Firebirds.
And Vikings will actually call a timeout here.
Timeout Princeton.
So maybe some sort of defensive miscommunication there. West coming out in a different formation than they're used to. So just want to make sure that nothing crazy happens here. Maybe get some spies back deep to avoid any big plays that could lead for touchdowns here in the last 2 seconds.
One downfall to being an option offense is you just don't really have that Hail Mary kind of play. I mean, any team could draw up the Hail Mary, but you don't really have that Hail Mary play in your playbook.
Yeah, and I mean, this offense in general is, made to take time off the clock, be staunch in what you do, and to get the couple yards that you need, stay ahead of the chains, and stay ahead in the game. So when you're behind and trying to do something quick, it's not really the DNA of this offense to do that.
So his last play of the half coming up here, Bolden in the shotgun. He's going to throw a quick screen out to Riesenberg. He's got a blocker, but not much going to do here, and that's going to take us to halftime. 20-10 is your lead. Lakota West will receive the ball on the flip side. Stay tuned for the second half, folks. Friday Night Football on ICRC-TV. Second half coming up next.
And restore pride. We are people working cooperatively. Our typical client earns less than $14,000 annually and cannot afford the critical repairs they need to safely live at home, where they desperately want to be. Our services truly change lives, one repair at a time. Our professionally trained staff, along with 25,000 volunteer hours annually, has provided more than 280,000 services for low-income, elderly, and disabled homeowners in our communities. Every service makes an impact. Homes we service have an increased sales price of 10%, and even the value of surrounding homes increase upwards of 3%. Our energy conservation services save clients an average of $300 a year. These total savings from all customers equals over $200,000 in outstanding energy bills paid. With safer living environments, almost 50% of our clients reported improved health, and many are seeking medical attention less frequently. By living healthy at home, over $54,000 in state and federal funds can be saved annually for each client that does not need to move to assisted living. PwC's impact is more than just dollars and cents. Stable homes create stable families, which means children who are moving less frequently can achieve higher academic success. We are an investment in the future. More people living safely in their own home paints a brighter future for everyone, but we can't do it alone. We need your help to continue to build a brighter future for the entire community. Give back and get involved at pwchomrepairs.org.
From the Jungle Book, our friends Baloo and Mowgli tell us that all we need in life are the bare necessities.
Welcome back in here to Pat Mancuso Field at halftime. It's 20-10. Take a look at your touchdowns there. The first one from Durham to Matthews. The second one here from Durham to Foster. Dorian Durham has looked great in the backfield. And the third one here was Thomas Boyd. Wide open up the middle, cut back left.
The little umpire.
The umpire pancake. And then the pick six. So Dorian Durham's thrown 3 touchdowns tonight.
Yeah, he's got 2 touchdowns to his own team, 1 to the other team, and David Jones with the 50-yard pick six. So far, the only touchdown for West.
Greg, you got some stats for us, first half stats.
Yeah, looking at the stats so far, Princeton with 121 rush yards, 135 passing yards, both more than the average that West gives up per game. West with 110 total yards, 77 of those on the ground. West has turned the ball over twice with a fumble and a pick. Princeton's turned the ball over once with the pick six. Time of possession about even, which is surprising considering normally West likes to play the ground and pound, kind of take the air out of the ball offense in their wing tee option look.
And then you have a GMC scoreboard update for us.
Yeah, so looking around the GMC so far, at the half, Coleraine leads Lakota East 13-3. Hamilton leads Sycamore 14-7. Mason leads Middletown 20-7, and Fairfield is just obliterating the winless Oak Hills Highlanders 36-0 at halftime. So that sets up for a Fairfield-Coleraine matchup next week with both teams undefeated.
That's going to be a big one. They're up there in Fairfield. And we get set for the second half kickoff. The Vikings are kicking off to the Firebirds. Vikings wearing the gray on gray. Firebirds in white on black. Deep kick down to the 15. It's number 3, Bird for the Firebirds. He gets a block, cuts back upfield, and that ball is out. Princeton has it. And that is not what the Firebirds needed or wanted there, Greg.
No, they were kind of playing their game knowing that, hey, if you could sort of get back into this game, you get the ball first the second half, a chance to take it down to a one-score game, but looked like Bird just trying to do a little bit too much, maybe a punch out there, and that's a quick turnover and some great field position for Princeton to start off the second half.
Let's see if Princeton here will go for the big shot. The first turnover they forced, they did throw. Here's the replay here. Yeah, just a poorly secured ball and easily punched out.
Yeah, it looked like someone got the first hand on kind of his arm, and then there was a punch in there that just sent the ball flying for
Boyd with a big hole. Play looked like it was designed to go right. He cuts back left, and there's a big hole there. He goes for about 8 yards.
Yeah, and Boyd so far not the fastest guy, but definitely a violent runner, able to put his foot in the ground, change direction. And
I recall what he's done tonight, efficient.
Yes, for sure. Certainly a guy that's been running all over the place for them and has 86 yards on 11 carries, so averaging almost 8 yards per carry. So that's exactly what Coach Davis wants out of his offense.
They come out here and they make it 12 for 94 now, so 6 more yards till he goes over 100. And he might get it on this play. Pushes forward. He's close to a first down. He's running about 3 there. So I'll move him up to about 97 on the night.
Once again there, fighting for the extra yards, and working for maybe only a couple of yards, but another first down there for Princeton as they keep going on, and it looks like he'll get a little break here. Maybe a little uniform malfunction.
Yeah, it'll be Ari Turner, number 30, that'll come in for him. And he'll be to Durham's left. With 2 receivers up top, 1 down low. That's Burkhalter down low by himself.
Turner only has the 1 run on the reverse, but cut almost 40 yards on that one, and looks to have a decent hole here.
He does. It's the read option. Durham lets him keep it. Turner takes it around the right side, picks up 6 yards, and we're up 2nd and 4. So the second half couldn't have started any better for Mike Daniels and the Vikings.
Yeah, getting that early turnover, getting their offense back on the field, and a chance to take the lead back up to 17 before this West offense even gets a chance to get back out on the field for the second half. Certainly not what Coach Bolden and the Firebirds were expecting going into the second half.
Looks like Durham's going to keep it on the left side. He gets a block from his receiver, Burkhalter. And he's got the first down. He picks up about 6 yards, maybe 7.
Throws a little arm there before he gets into a little arm bar there before he gets to the sideline there. Picks up a couple yards and will pick up another first down. And some great blocking there on the outside by Burkhalter really helped to spring him outside.
Durham certainly looks like he has the ability to run, just hasn't done it a lot yet this year.
Yeah.
I believe he had negative yards on the season.
Yeah. Durham going into the season only had 5 rushes for negative 15 yards. But
here's Turner. He'll push forward close to another first down. It was 9 yards on that carry. I don't know if we have a look at this one or not, but really an athletic play by the quarterback here, Durham. The snap was high, and he snatched it out of the air and was able to get the handoff complete to Turner.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that you worry about. You know, when you get the big turnover in the momentum, you don't want to give the ball right back. And nice athletic play by him to grab the ball, put it right in the running back's chest, and Turner once again runs for a big gain.
Durham has Matthews and Harris up top. He's got Turner in the backfield. Matthews in motion. Gives it to Turner. Turner trying a little jump cut. Nothing going there. Flag in from the umpire. Typically would indicate some sort of a hold.
It'll be interesting to see, even just based off the call, but either way, both times that Princeton's gotten the ball down here, they have not been able to pick up too many yards. Did have about a 2nd and 3 in the first half and ended up running into the line 3 times and turning the ball over.
I hear that. That was huge because it was 2nd and 1 on the 7.5 yard line. This is going to take him back to 2nd and 12, maybe 13.
Yeah, so it will be certainly interesting to see how that affects the play call here, going from 2nd and 1 to 2nd and 12.
Can't tell if that's Harris or Foster up top, but it looks like he might have one-on-one coverage. He might try to exploit it. Pass is underthrown, and then the receiver there, I can't see yet, but he had to turn into a defender. It was Harris. So he had to turn into a defender here and knock that ball out of the cornerback's hands.
Yeah, and that was Kevin Suttles Jr., the safety, that had great position there, and if it wasn't for an athletic play by the Princeton wide receiver, that could have been a turnover.
So 3rd and long 12 here for the Vikings.
And you wonder, you know, in any high school, this would be about a 37-yard field goal, so it might be out of range. Could be 4-down territory.
Set up a screen here, and they might. They had it set up. It was wide open. And number 14 for Lakota took advantage of the rules. He kind of saw that screen getting set up. That's Noah Smith. You know, I don't know if we have a look at this, but he just basically tackled Ari Turner in the backfield, which, I mean, is pretty much illegal.
Yeah, just able to kind of get a shot on him there, knock him to the ground, and then allow that throw to go almost straight to 3 Lakota West defenders.
So now you got 4th and long, 12, a long 12. And it looks like the offense is going to stay on the field.
Yeah, sometimes in this situation, you know, if you don't have the...
We've seen their extra points at Menifee tonight.
Yeah, so may not have the confidence to try a long field goal, and looks like it'll be a timeout for Princeton as they
talk about it. Now hitting the kicks now, his kicks look like they have about 30 to 35 yards on them. But it's the snaps have been slow, and it's been a slow process getting the ball into position for him to kick it.
And he has had one blocked, and you worry sometimes when the ball gets blocked, it could squirt anywhere and, you know, could potentially lead to a return. So may just feel more comfortable taking a shot here and trying to get a first down or more likely just a touchdown, with a first down only coming inside the 5-yard line.
Good look at the crowd here at Pat Mancuso Stadium. And the kind of bundled up as fall is very, very slowly trying to roll its way in here.
Yeah, definitely getting some colder days here in about the 50s, and once it starts to get dark, you get that nice chill out there. So windbreaker, certainly the season for windbreakers.
So we got 4 wide receivers here for Durham. Single back. He's back to throw. Pressure coming. He's going for Burkhalter. Burkhalter makes a play on the ball in the back corner of the end zone. It's a touchdown, Vikings. A great throw by Durian Durham. Defense won an offensive pass interference. I didn't see it.
Could have been a little bit of a push-off. Looked like hand fighting by both teams, and
best did not call it.
That throw by Durham was
spot
almost
on.
Perfect.
In the
right in the corner of the end zone.
The only player that could have got that was his player. Either his player was going to catch it or it was going incomplete.
And, great awareness there by Durham, knowing that he's got the 6'3" Burkhalter out there who's got quite the vertical, so can go up and get it.
There's the kick after. Now that one's good. Clean snap, clean hold, and driven through the uprights.
Yeah, looked to be a better transfer there, and Princeton able to take advantage of that kick return fumble and take it back to a 3-score game and take about 4 minutes off the clock in the third quarter.
I believe that's about 14 points off turnovers for the Vikings tonight.
Yeah, they got a touchdown off both of the fumbles that West has had today. So far the turnover battle, West has 3, which Princeton's gotten 14 points off of. Princeton just has the 1 pick 6. So West has gotten 7 points off of that. So you really wonder here. Still a lot of time here for West, but so far offense hasn't even seen the field yet. You wonder if this second half is going to be any different for this Bolden offense, or if they're just going to keep chugging away and try to at least get something out of the first drive.
So here we go, set the kickoff for Vikings now. Back deep for the Firebirds. Bird is not back there after the fumble on the last one. That one goes over the defender's heads, and luckily for him, rolls into the end zone. It was number 9, Malcolm Rencher, that let that ball go.
Yeah, almost.
If that chucked up on the 1, he would have had to go back and get it.
Yeah, almost a tough play. Like what was said, live ball there before it goes in the end zone. So you got to pick it up and try to do something with it. So usually not great form to let it go over your head unless you know it's going into the end zone on the fly.
So here come the Firebirds. 1st and 10 on their own 20.
Look to be back in their typical wing T formation.
Miller, first man through. 3-yard pickup. Maybe call it 4 to the 24-yard line. 2nd and 6.
And that's been their favorite play so far tonight. That's Miller's 14th carry tonight for about 52 yards here on the night.
Far in motion. This time, Bolden kept it. He tried to pitch it, and it's dropped. Picked up by the Viking defense. Returned for a touchdown. Vikings, that'll put them up 33-10. That's your worst imaginable scenario there for an option offense is right at your quarterback's hit, right as he's trying to pitch it, and the defense just almost like an interception, just picks it up and goes.
Yeah, you see Mitch Bolden there trying to make a last-second pitch there with several of the Vikings defenders bearing down upon him, and just too late of a decision. Got to hold on to it there, and that'll lead to a fumble and a pickup for a touchdown. That's Leroy Bowers.
High snap. Somehow gets the kickoff and in. The holder for the Vikings, and I can't see his number. It might be number 9. Number 5. Actually, it looks like Durham. Is that 5?
Yeah,
I'm telling you, his holds at night on those snaps have been impressive because the snaps have not been.
Yeah, Durham, as we mentioned, one of the two quarterbacks, has played some. Was the backup to start the year behind my Jaden Horton. So usually we'll see the backup quarterback do some holding, and he's not only had his hands full leading this offense, but had his hands full just trying to get the extra points off tonight.
So now a 34-10 lead, 14 quick points here in the third quarter. Only 4 minutes and 42 seconds have gone off the clock, and we already have 2 touchdowns for the Vikings. 21 points now off turnovers, Greg.
Yeah, and only the second time this year Lakota West has given up 30-plus points. First time since week 1 when they lost 31-7 to LaSalle, so certainly not indicative of their offense or their defense so far tonight. They're really struggling, especially in the turnover battle, with their 4th turnover and 2nd already in the second half.
Comes the kick. It's deep. It's down the middle. Looks like David Afari, the return. And he'll be up to the 35-yard line. Good starting field position for Lakota West. They got some work to do.
Yeah, and they're going out here down a bunch. Still a lot of time, but you got to do it one drive at a time, and really your big focus for the offense is just holding on to the ball. As we mentioned, really only one offensive drive with the first fumble being on the kickoff, but 2 times they've gotten the ball this half and 2 turnovers.
Afari in motion. Bolton's going to throw. It's a quick throw, and it's low. Forces his receiver to the ground. That's number 7, Caleb Real.
Yeah, and that throw possibly could have been for a first down. The quarterback kind of sagging off, but throw just too far in front of the receiver, and he just has to dive forward and catch it and can't get anything after the catch.
Another quick throw to Riesenberg. And I feel like their option offense might be working better than these quick throws. We mentioned earlier, Mitch Bolton's listed as an athlete on the roster. You have 2 quarterbacks listed on the roster. One's a senior, Dan Caudell, number 13, and then number 15, Ethan Engler, who's a sophomore. I kind of wonder if he might maybe go to a more traditional quarterback that can throw the ball.
Yeah, you wonder because obviously this is the first year of the system, so still have some guys that are probably a little bit older that have more of an idea of throwing in the offense.
That's a great throw by Bolton. And Afari catches it, gets the first down. Afari, he gets up to the 44, steps out of bounds, continued running, and then the referee threw a flag. He's pointing towards Princeton. Yeah,
it looked like he ran out of bounds. They called the play dead, and then Princeton got an extra shot in. Kind of a tough call there, as Afari, even though he stepped out of bounds, kind of kept running in the field of play. So difficult penalty, but the 3rd penalty of the 15-yard variety against the Princeton defense tonight. So far they've played very well. Have only given up the 3 points to the West offense, but have given them some critical penalties. That's the one thing you can say.
He's going to throw again. That's Riesenberg, another quick hitter out to the left side, and nothing doing there.
Maybe even lost a yard there. It will be interesting to see where they spot him.
The Viking defense, their corners are playing off about 9 or 10 yards, but as soon as Bolton goes to make that throw, they're almost beating the throw there, and nothing for the receivers to do.
Yeah, and really, aside of the one throw to the younger Afari, Alex Afari, Bolton hasn't really gone downfield at all, so they know when he's going to throw, it's probably going to be a quick screen or an out, so the cornerbacks can start to run in at that point.
Riesenberg in motion. They're going to call block in the back on David Afari there. So just when the Firebirds start to get some momentum going, their star running back is going to move them back 10 yards from that spot.
Yeah, and you wonder, obviously, players know better than a penalty, but when you're mostly a running team and you start running a lot more of these pass plays, maybe the guys aren't as comfortable and they do things that are kind of out of character, which would include a block in the back for Afari.
Now, Princeton coaches are yelling at one of their defenders, and another referee has come from the back. And now there's a discussion going on. Could there be 2 fouls on this play?
It will be interesting. Refs are still having a conversation down on the
Got
field.
a block in the back on Lakota.
One penalty says block in the back
That's it.
on the Firebirds.
Now we got the dead ball personal foul. So they'll walk off the 10 and then walk back off 15. So Lakota's going to net 5 yards from this thing. Maybe 6 or 7 because that block in the back goes from the spot. So you go to the spot where it happened and walk it back 10, and then you got to walk up 15.
So it looks like it'll be second down and about 4 here after everything's kind of been sorted out there on the field. And that's the second personal foul on Princeton. So they've played some decent defense, but once again, those penalties can just be killers to keep the offense
They gave
on
the
the field.
Firebirds 2 first downs in the first half. Giving them a big bonus here, making it 2nd and 4 instead of 2nd and 16. And here's Miller up the middle. Kicks it out to the right side. He's got a first down. It's about the 12-yard line, maybe the 13.
And before the defense kind of clamped down towards the end of the first half, they were Lakota West was having a lot of success just running Miller right up the middle. So maybe now that they've spread out the defense a little bit with some screens and some passes to the outside, they feel like they might have some success again going up the middle.
We got 1st and 10 on the Viking 12-yard line. Back to the pistol wing tee. Gives it to Miller up the middle, and he is just obliterated in the backfield. That is number 25, who had an interception earlier in the game. That is Dixon. Take a look at this replay. Just your middle linebacker shooting the A-gap and making a play.
Yeah, somebody must have missed the block or a little bit of a heavy set. Just getting some guys through and able to get penetration and stop them for a big 1-yard loss.
Fari's in motion. They fake it to him. Bolden fake the throw. Nowhere to go. Number 4 on the tackle for the Vikings, Elijah Aberhart.
And I know Bolden was probably trying to get rid of the ball, and maybe in his best interest to not try to throw it away, but certainly had the ball kind of out away from his body, which is something that you don't like to see as a coach, especially with a fumble.
He was looking to throw to his right, and there wasn't a receiver over there. His only receiver was to the left.
So maybe a miscommunication there. Maybe a receiver didn't go out or misheard a play, but either way, that makes it 3rd and really long here for Lakota West.
Trips on the top side. Single man down low. Bolden's going to throw over the middle to Afari. Afari goes up and catches it, breaks a tackle. He's into the end zone. David Afari, touchdown, Firebirds.
Yeah, and it just looked there. Afari just a post right through the middle. Safety not coming down there. Must have been a break in the coverage. No one quite in that zone. Afari able to go up, break a tackle, and get 6 for Lakota West.
The math here with me, the math and the time, I'd be going for 2 here, but they're going to kick the extra point. It is good inside the right post. Makes it 34-17.
Bolden's 5th touchdown pass of the year. Afari, his 16th total touchdown, 3rd receiving of the year. So that'll at least bring it back to a 17-point game and give this Lakota West offense a little bit of life.
The Lakota West defense now will have to step up and try to force some sort of a 3-and-out or a quick change by way of a turnover in order for this team to really get back into it. The Vikings are going to look for that drive that's going to kill off 5 or 6 minutes and get 7 more points on the board.
Yeah, did not see Thomas Boyd there at the end of the drive, but expect to see him in if he is okay and didn't get hurt on that last drive, and expect to see him quite a bit on this drive as they try to bleed out as much clock as they can while still trying to get some points.
So here goes Josh Lane to kick off for Lakota. Front line for the Vikings needs to be aware. There's not any trickeration. Just a deep kick.
Couple broken tackles there. It was a bit of 25. Not too bad of a return there.
That was number 9, Leroy Bauer. Good return up to the 26, 27-yard line.
Yeah, and even if they're, running back a little bit, still got to be prepared as the front line to return. You've seen all these kind of crazy onside kicks, popping the ball up in the air or just trying to kick it off of one of the guys in the front line and get a return.
441. If you have that number, collect your winnings at the cheerleading booth on the scoreboard side of the field. Cheerleading booth at the scoreboard side of the field. Thank you.
So here comes this offense. Boyd is back out there. He's to the left of Durham. 3 wide receivers. One in motion. Give to Boyd off to the right side. Gets a good block. Breaks the tackle. He's got a first down. And more.
Boyd just punishing defenders there. Nice hole there on the right side, but Boyd able to turn a 7 or so yard run into a first down 12-yard run as he breaks a couple tackles and just is taking a guy with him, and that's exactly what you want to see if you're Princeton here.
That'll take Boyd well over 100 yards, close to about 110 on the night.
Yeah, and so far, this Princeton offense has been as advertised. One of the top 3 offenses in the GMC, and they've certainly showed it here. Running, throwing, and getting the ball up and down the field. It's shown on the scoreboard.
Here's Boyd again. He's met at the line of scrimmage, but falls forward for 2 yards. Bring up 2nd and 8. And now the clock is Princeton's best friend. It's just ticking away.
Yeah, and don't expect to see that Princeton offense in any hurry at this point. Take their time, take as much clock out of any possession as possible. And even on that Lakota West touchdown drive, their offense isn't exactly made for quick drives. So as much clock as you can take off, the better.
This is Foster coming in motion. He gets the handoff. Get 2 yards. And bring up 3rd and 6. This is where Lakota West needs to step up and get off the field here to get the ball back to their offense if they want to have any kind of a shot.
Yeah, really need a stop here. Only stops have been few and far between by this Lakota West defense. So expect to maybe see some pressure, and I'd key in on the wide receiver on the top of the screen. Look for maybe a play action pass and a throw to the top right.
There's man in motion. Hand off to Boyd. Met in the backfield. And he's going to be stopped. They'll bring up about 4th and call it 7.
West seemed ready for that, I guess. Princeton's more concerned with just trying to take some time off the clock. No room to go whatsoever for Boyd.
They will have to punt this. Nope. The play clock just reset. So now they'll be able to let this clock run down to the end of the quarter. So this clock will run down. It'll be the end of the 3rd quarter. And an eventful 3rd quarter it was, Greg. We saw 2 turnovers by the Firebirds lead to 14 points for the Vikings. And then finally the Firebirds were able to get a drive together and score a touchdown. 17-point lead for the Vikings, Greg.
Yeah, certainly a statement quarter for the Vikings. Forcing the 2 turnovers, they'd kind of lost some momentum going into the end of the first half. With getting them into the end of the first half, but able to get out at the top of the second half and get the points they needed.
Here's your TV replay schedule, your channels there on the right, Spectrum and Cincinnati Bellfly Optics. If you're watching tonight here on Friday night, the 25th, please tell your friends and family members to watch these replays here. It'll be replays Saturday the 26th at noon, Sunday the 27th at 6 p.m., Monday the 28th at 8:30 p.m., and Tuesday our third shift special at 10 a.m. Your replay times for this game. You can also catch it on ICRC-TV.com. That's ICRC-TV.com. So we'll start the fourth quarter with a fourth and about 8 yards for the Vikings. They'll be looking to punt the ball away. Slow snap. The punt is up. It's away. And it's caught. That's the younger Afari there, Alex.
Kind of a dangerous catch there by Afari, has guys all the way around him, able to get a couple yards, but that's one of the things you worry about as a coach, because you can get hit right away, and the last thing Lakota West needs is another turnover tonight.
But decent field position for the Firebirds. They'll take over at their own 40. Don't have to score very quick here and look for some sort of quick change following the score.
Yeah, interesting choice. Last time they scored by Coach Bolden, could have taken it down to a 16-point game if they would have gone for two, content with kicking the extra point, and it's still a 3-possession game.
Bolden looking to throw deep. And a little too deep as he overthrows his receiver, number 7, Real. And that's kind of going back to what I was talking about their last drive. The corners for Princeton are playing off, and as soon as he snaps the ball, he kind of he throws it, and they're coming up aggressive. So that time they try to take advantage of it and suck the corners up and go over their heads.
Yeah, it looked like the corners were, told not to let anything get past them. We're ready for that, and no real place for Bolden to throw it there. So probably the best decision to throw it way over anyone's head.
But you put yourself in a 2nd and 10 situation, and then you go back to that option offense and give it to the first option through the middle of the line, which is Allen. And he only gets, or Aiden Miller, sorry, and he only gets about 1.5 yards.
One thing you probably got to realize here is, though they're behind again, only getting 1.5 yards, maybe they feel like they can take the shot on first down, because at this point, with only 11 minutes left, 3-possession game, it's going to be 4-down territory for the rest of the game.
There's Bolden to throw. It's a quick hitter to Riesenberg, and he dives for the first down. That should stop the clock, and Firebird offense should move up.
Nice throw there by Bolden. He's been kind of up and down throwing the ball, but able to get the ball right to Riesenberg. And
for the last drive, in this drive, he's been up as far as throwing goes.
Yeah, and able to fight forward for a first down, so a little bit of life now out of this West offense. Maybe he can get something going.
He must have heard me suggest bringing in the other quarterback, because now he's throwing the ball like he's a pretty darn good quarterback.
Yeah, maybe was told, obviously having his dad as the coach, maybe a voice in his ear as well, telling him, hey, if you don't start throwing the ball a little bit better.
It's Miller again with his 16th carry on the day. He's getting close to 70 yards. So they come in with David Afari as their leading rusher, and I believe that it's Aiden Miller tonight. Not only in yards, but in number of carries.
Yeah, Afari through 3 quarters only had 7 carries for 13 yards. I mean, Afari is 3rd in the GMC, 800 yards total, so certainly is used to getting more than 36 yards in a game.
And they fumble on the exchange. Miller's able to pick it up and make the best of a bad situation, and now his line's going to make it even better. We got a good old rugby scrum here. This play's still going on. They just now blew it dead. And good old rugby scrum. So fumbled in the backfield, picked up by Miller, and he pushes forward, and then his line gets behind him, and his line pushes him about another 3 or 4 yards. So it looked like a possible turnover or a loss of a yard on the play. Ends up a pickup of about 3.
Yeah, the last thing you want to see there if you're a Firebird fan, the ball going on the ground once again, but thankfully for them, Miller is right there, Johnny on the spot to pick up the ball and at least get something positive, which is great considering, the ball was dropped in the backfield.
So here's Bolden. He has both the Afari brothers down at the bottom. Riesenberg up top. Miller to his right in the backfield. Quick throw to Riesenberg. Riesenberg with the catch. Does a nice job. Get about 4 yards. It's going to bring it up 4th and about 2.
It will be interesting to see what this play call is on 4th down. This is most likely the game here for West with just under 9 minutes left. And if they can't get it here and Princeton gets the ball with good field position, up 17 and a chance to milk a lot of time off the clock, this could be it.
There is 8:53, in fact, left in the game, not 6:53. Our graphic currently incorrect. So 4th and 2. Bolden's under center. Man in motion. Snap, David Afari. And he busts through the line. He breaks the tackle. He's going to go to the end zone. 10-5, touchdown, Afari.
Huge play there for West.
Looking around for any flags. I don't see any. That's going to be the big hitter that they needed there.
And you can see the little bit of motion there. Able to take on the last blocker, open up the hole, and then Afari has enough speed to burst right through the hole, break a tackle or two, and then he is gone.
So just as we mentioned, Aiden Miller is the leading rusher. Afari comes in and says, hey, whoa, I'm still here.
And you can tell why he's one of the top running backs in the conference. They're able to pop off and go for a big run at any time.
Kick is up, important and good. No good. Off to the right. Sorry.
Yeah, that one flies off to the right, and that's a tough break now because you're down 11. And it's looking like you're going to need that 2-point conversion here at some point.
So now you're down 11. So that's a touchdown, a 2-point conversion, and a field goal, plus some defense in between. And for Vikings, you just got to keep the chains moving.
Don't know if I'd expect a onside kick quite this early. Maybe kick it deep, see what your defense can do, but
looks like the Vikings,
always a possibility.
Looks like the Vikings are ready for it.
I mean, considering West defense has had some trouble getting stops out. Don't think I've gotten a single 3-and-out tonight. Have gotten some stops, but usually after some time gets taken off the clock. So maybe just trying to get a quick onside kick here and at least see what they can do.
So it's Josh Lane to kick for the Firebirds.
Looks to be lined up for a usual long kick, but we'll see.
He does kick it. A little pop up to the right, caught at the 15. Looks like Bauer maybe. And he's running east and west and needs to go north and south.
Yeah, runs about 45 yards there. Only gets the ball up to about the 26-yard line.
Really by direction of the stadium. He was running north and south, and he needs to run east and west. Church is situated off 75 north here. Sharonville, Ohio. Beautiful Pat Mancuso Field, Princeton High School.
Yeah, definitely a nice view. I mean, from where we are in the press box, see the cars going by. Nice stands. Princeton side definitely packed, and a good turnout from the West crowd. Obviously,
look at the band down there in the end zone. They're into it. As Durham gets set, the man in motion. It's that play they ran all night long, and Boyd's a couple of tacklers in the backfield and is able to pick up maybe half a yard and keeps the clock running, more importantly.
Yeah, have been pretty much running Boyd to the right all night with occasional pulling linemen. Interesting to see them running right, considering they do have one of the top recruits in Johnson Jr. on the left side, but have found success, maybe some weak points on the West defense on the right side. And wasn't successful there, but has been for them all night.
Play fake, going long. It's a good throw, and it's a good catch by Burkhalter to the 30, to the 20, to 15, and he breaks a tackle at the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Vikings! Dorian Durham, his 4th touchdown of the night. I think the Firebirds, just like us, were expecting run. So Durham with the play fake throws up a beauty, and Burkhalter just goes up and gets it. It runs right past the defense. The last defender, number 21, has a chance there with the high step from Burkhalter, and that's a touchdown, Vikings.
Yeah, that was a great play by Burkhalter to run, showing off some speed, get there for the catch, and just blaze past everybody for a touchdown. Unfortunately for the cornerback there, caught looking up a little bit, ball gets over his head, and that's going to be a house call there for Princeton as they get to 40 points now, 41 for him on the night. So huge night for this Princeton offense.
By number 49, Michael Everson.
I'll tell you what, that throw again. If you see, I saw Durham put that ball up, Greg, and it looked like it was an overthrow, and there was no chance Burkhalter was going to get it. And Burkhalter just turned on the Jets.
Yeah, it looked like the corner was in great position for a pick there, but let the ball get over his head, and Burkhalter just puts on the Jets, speeds up, makes a nice catch, had to jump a little bit to get over the corner, but got that ball, landed, and sped past for a long touchdown pass. And so far, Durham coming into the night had 4 touchdown passes and a pick. Has
He's
4
doubled that
touchdown
and a
passes
pick, yeah.
and a pick tonight.
So Dorian Durham with Jaden Holton not playing tonight might be cementing himself a spot on this offense for the rest of the year. So we'll get set for the Vikings to kick it off. Now, the only downfall to that touchdown, if there is any, there really isn't. But if there was one, it's that you didn't take a lot of time off the clock.
Yeah, but I'm sure Coach Daniel will take the trade for 7 points.
Great kick coverage there. Looks like number 2, Kevin Settles Jr.
And, as up and down as this offense has looked for Lakota West, right around their average, actually over their average for points per game at 23, averaging about 21. But defense has just not been able to get it done. And just to take a look at how important this defense is for West, when they give up more than 30 points, so far they're 0-2. Give up less than 30 points, they are 6-0. So this is looking like a long shot for them to come back, and they once again fall into giving up just too many points and not able to come back from it.
Low snap handled by Bolden, thrown behind Alex Safari. Now that's something to look forward to for Lakota West if you're looking for something from this game and just this season is you have a freshman quarterback in Mitch Bolden and a freshman receiver in Alex Safari. They're both listed as athletes on the roster, which means they could probably play anywhere on the field, and they're both freshmen.
And you also look, have had success with a low snap there. Bolden will just jump on it. Probably a smart play, but do have so far 6 wins with a good chance to get another one next week against Middletown and finish it, possibly 7-3.
Should be a huge jump from the year prior. Here's the snap right through his legs. Oh.
An opportunity to get some of these guys up to speed, get Coach Bolden's system more cemented, and an opportunity to really
right through the
turn
5
this
hole.
program around. Yeah, just right through there, and probably a smart play just to jump on it. Sometimes when you got to turn your back, you never know who could be running right behind you to try to force some more havoc. So
3rd and long.
The smart play just to jump on it.
Another low snap. Bolden's going to try to escape, but he can't. That's number 19.
That's that's Darion Henry. 4 sacks on the year. That'll be his 5th.
Got a
big
flag
guy
deep.
creating havoc in the back.
There's a flag deep back at the 40-yard line. And you're going to have unsportsmanlike conduct, but that does not give an automatic first down, but it does make it 4th and 4.
They call them that during the play or after the play?
No. They only give him 10 on that. Okay, after the sack. So the sack moves it up. The sack moved it back, and then the penalty moves it up to almost the original line of scrimmage, so about 4th and 11.
Yeah, so.
Another boneheaded play by the Vikings defense, man.
But it looks like they're going to be bailed out just after getting the sack, and it looks like Lakota West is going to be.
And the Vikings are almost, I think they almost had 12 men on the field there. They have to call a timeout.
But it looks like West might be waving the white flag here, punting the ball down 18.
Now the timeout, gives Bolton time to think about it. I doubt he'll change his mind, but.
Parents, aunties, cousins, you have a bus pass or a skateboard. Make sure you start getting your rides together to leave the stadium as soon as the horn goes off. Thank you.
So 41-23. There's 6:35 left in the game.
Problem with some of these scoreboards, 6 and the 8 looking quite alike and creating a little bit of trouble for our graphics. But yeah, 6:35 left, so it's looking like if Princeton can just get the ball and run the ball a few times, they could take most of the rest of this clock off after this punt.
Looks like Lakota is still punt. It's a decent punt. Fair caught by Foster at the 47-yard line of the Firebirds. So not only get a chance to run some time off the clock, they're going to do it with great field position, Greg.
Yeah, and I mean an opportunity to, I guess, add on if they want to, if they can break a tackle. But really at this point, they're just happy to have the lead that they do in the ball with only about 6.5 minutes left, with an opportunity to take most of this time off and just secure the win and possibly cement themselves as one of the 8 teams going to the playoffs here in a couple weeks.
It's Turner in the backfield. High snap, handled by Durham. He's been pretty good at that all night. Whether it be in the backfield as the quarterback or as the holder for the kicks, any snap that's gone kind of errant, he's been able to catch it and handle it. Here it is. Watch this. High snap. You just got to be an athlete back there.
And, going into the game, not a whole lot of rush yards, looked to be more of the passer, but has been able to run the ball a little bit and has kind of showed off some of that athletic prowess, making sure those high snaps don't get over him.
Interestingly enough, Darian Henry was under the tarp for the defense looking at film or tape for the last drive, and they had to call him out to go on offensive play tight end. This one's a high snap. He can't, and he still is able to handle it. Ooh.
So, looked like nowhere really to go there. Designed run. And
almost every reason that they could have possibly thrown a flag on this one here. This one's still, it's over his head, and he can't even, he can't make a play on that, but he still does. He's able to pick it up. Looks downfield, nothing there. Okay, I'll just take a knee. And then the Lakota West defender did make contact.
Yeah, late touch.
Could have easily thrown a flag on that.
Yeah, easily thrown a flag.
But, kudos to the Lakota West defender to be able to pull up and only make the little bit of contact that he did.
Yeah, you would have thought if there was more contact or he would have gotten knocked fully to the ground that the flag would have come out there pretty quickly.
They're going to throw the ball. He's going to throw it up for Burkhalter. And they're going to flag coming in here. They're going to call it on offense or defense. This is Alex Safari, and he has the sideline here. He's down inside the 30-yard line. We got to wait and see. We got to assume it's going to be pass interference, but which way are they going to call it? And now we have another flag all the way down the other here.
Yeah, and
so here's the ball thrown up. Are they calling this offense or defense? I don't think there should have been either.
Yeah, I don't know if there was either there. It looked like they were both kind of going up for the ball. And
then you get a flag here on the other end at the end of the play.
So a little bit of conversation going here, maybe one on each side, but we'll see. Looks like some of the offensive players might be coming off the field, so might be offensive pass interference.
I feel like that, just looking at the replay, it should have been a no call. don't know if we can pull that back up or not, but it'd be worth looking at again. They will call pass interference on the offense.
Yeah, looked to be a guy right behind the play, so maybe saw
And
some
a
arm
personal
bar.
foul blow to the head on Lakota. And that's going to offset. So that will wipe off the interception. Here's again, there's no push off there. There's neither side. It was a great play by Ofari.
Yeah, it looked like the flag was out there by the time the ball got there, so maybe some early contact before we saw the play. I don't know, like you said.
And we're looking for the blow to the head at the end. I don't know if did we see the blow to the head at the end there? Right here at the top of your screen with, I guess, 41.
Yeah, you can see
the
there
number,
at the
number
very
12
end.
maybe, pushing number 41 in the head there.
Yeah, it looked like there just was a little bit of a hand to the face, maybe some words exchanged.
Tell you, Bolden's not happy with it offsetting.
So, yeah, maybe asking for the call to be made after the play, which would give them the interception and then just have to march back 15 yards but still get the ball.
And the referee's coming back. So pass interference offense declined. So if he declines it, then Lakota gets the interception.
So it looks like they're going to keep the ball. They'll back up 15 yards, but still a turnover. Second pick of the night. Interesting play call there. Durham going deep, gets picked off, but only about 5 minutes here, so West is going to have to make some plays quickly if they're going to want to have any chance to get back into this game.
So 4:44 left. They trail by 18. It's too much math for me to do there, Greg. 41 minus 23. Carry. Okay.
So it's an 18-point game, be a 3-possession game, so you're looking at a touchdown about every minute 25 or so.
There's Bolden. Ofari in motion. They'll hand it to Ofari. He's going to throw it. He's got Riesenberg downfield. He's caught it inside the 15, about the 13-yard line.
A little bit of trickery there, and I guess you might
need it. A little bit of trickeration.
The one thing I will say there is it looked like there was another receiver out there.
His name was Rayal.
Rayal was wide open, but hey, still get the play, still get the first down, and now they're in the red zone.
There's the Ofari in motion. This time they'll hand it to him, and he's got Miller out there lead blocking. Ofari's in the end zone. That's a touchdown. That's his third touchdown of the evening.
Ofari just gets to the end zone so quickly. 1 second you see him, and he's out at about the 10-yard line. You blink, and he's past the
unsung hero on this play there, Greg, is Aiden Miller leading him around the corner. Check out 23 here.
Yeah, able to make a couple blocks. The one thing that I will say is looked like Ofari's brother might have gotten away with a little bit of a hold at the top of the screen, but no call, and now they're going to try to go for 2 to take it back to a 10-point game. So big 2-point conversion here to take it to just a 10-point game.
Of course, on the other side of this, they still have all 3 timeouts. I mean, theoretically, I guess you could kick off and try to play defense and use your timeouts, but I think you almost have to go with the onside kick. Let's see what happens here first on 2-point. Bolden's going to roll. He's going to throw it back corner. And there are about 3 Viking defenders and only 2 Lakota West
so
receivers.
Now you're going to need 2 touchdowns. So I would guess that you're going to at least see some sort of tricky kick, whether it's an onside kick or some sort of pop-up kick.
Bolden's an experienced coach, a great coach here in Cincinnati, but I definitely do question his decisions when to chase those 2-pointers and when to not. Earlier when they were down by 24. They scored, and he didn't chase then, and then now they're chasing, chasing after it now. They could have just kicked the extra point there, and he's kept it at 11.
Yeah, and kind of a question there. I'm a little bit questioning the call.
The play call, yeah.
Having Afari being their best offensive player, would have liked to see him involved.
And the way that Millers ran the ball as well.
Yeah, and knowing how this team is, probably more comfortable with a run, asking your quarterback to throw a little corner route in the end zone with the defense, compressed back there with only so many, only 12 yards to cover. It's a very difficult throw for any quarterback to make, especially a freshman quarterback that, hasn't thrown the ball a ton this year.
So here we go. What does Lakota West have drawn up? He's moving it to the near hash.
Yeah, looks to have a whole host of Firebirds at the top.
And it's not Josh Lane kicking off, who has kicked off all the kickoffs tonight. It looks like number 28 or 29. I think it would be Tyler Sparno. 28 perhaps. It's an onside kick for sure. It's a slow roller. Princeton might have touched it first, and I think Lakota has it.
Yes, they do. It bounced around, got some contact. Ball went more than 10 yards, and that's recovered by number 10 for the Firehawks. It's recovered by Silas Walters, the junior defensive back.
So check it out here on the replay. It's a slow roller. Princeton does touch it first.
Yeah, and that's a move by Afari. He got, as we've mentioned, he's so quick. He was able to get there right as the ball was getting to the up man for Princeton and able to make contact, force him to not be able to grab onto the ball. The ball squirts away and goes more than 10 yards. West will have the ball and a chance to make it a one-score game here, which we kind of thought they were waving the white flag when they were punting the ball just 2.5 minutes ago. But an interception, a quick touchdown, and an onside kick recovery, and they're right back in this.
Bolden to throw. He's going to go long. Alex Afari. Then the defense, they got him for the pass interference.
Yeah,
he is all
looked
over
to be pushing him out of bounds a little bit, so looked to be beat by Afari a little bit.
I think Alex Afari was going to blow right by him and catch that ball for a touchdown, and the defender on the play all he could do was just grab on. It's actually a smart play because
you can see the whole stomach of jersey there, but
because unlike the NFL where it's a spot foul, here it's just 15.
Yeah.
So you give up the touchdown or do you give him 15 yards, and he made the right play.
And either way, whether it's a spot foul or 15, you'd give up either of those rather than give up 6 points, which it looked like was going to happen if Afari was able to catch that ball, because he looked to be blowing right by the corner for a touchdown. Because those Afari's kids have
and
quick
it's
speed.
almost intercepted. Oh, man, a quick throw for Alex Afari. And then I look like number 4, Elijah Eberhardt, had a chance for an interception.
Yeah, Afari turns around, maybe a little bit of an off-target throw, tries to bring it in, ends up bouncing out. And
that's the second dropped interception for Eberhardt tonight.
Almost caught. Yeah, Eberhardt had the chance to pick off a ball at the end of the first half, but dropped that one too. And those are going to be two that he'll lose
Bolden's
some sleep
under pressure,
over.
And he's got Afari down the middle. It's David Afari inside the 15.
You can see West trying to get up to the line. As you can see, the
clock will stop when they move the chains.
West contingent starting to come to life here.
And I owe Mitch Bolden an apology. I called for a different quarterback to come in that can throw the ball. This kid is throwing the ball.
Yeah, so far a couple nice possessions, and it seems like with West's back against the wall, Bolden has stepped up.
There's Bolden to throw again. He's got a good pocket, and he's got Riesenberg, but does Riesenberg drop it? He did.
Yeah, looked like maybe heard some footsteps, just kind of alligator armed that catch, and looked to have a sure touchdown, but just could not hold on.
Right in his hands.
Oh, no, looked like it maybe bounced off the face mask or the shoulder a little bit.
You catch with your hands, not your chest.
That's been something he's been trying to teach me for a while.
So now 2nd and 10. Holden is chucking this ball all over the place right now.
Yeah, trying to get the quick score here.
There goes Afari. He turns it up. He picks up 4 or 5, but the clock's going to keep running.
Now you wonder here.
You can take the field goal.
Yeah, you can take the field goal. Once again, only a 2-possession game. We'll be able to get it down to 8.
No, our math is off. I'd only get it to 9.
Oh, yes, it's a 12-point game.
I told you it's hard. Once these numbers get high and you got to start carrying numbers around, I'm right there with you.
You'd think 4 years of engineering school would help me get to the whole counting thing, but looks like that was left behind a little bit. And looks like the 2-point miss will come back to haunt them. If they would have just kicked the extra point, it'd still be a 2-possession game.
Yeah, that was the point I was making on that last conversion attempt. But now you got to handle this business first. You're 4th and 5. And you get the energy in the stadium is just picked up. And the Princeton faithful, they're on their feet. The Lakota kids over there, they're all into it now.
And,
I think Bolden's going to take a timeout here, and I don't necessarily mind it because it's 4th and 5. This is pretty much the game right here, right now.
Yeah, this is certainly the game. May have a chance to get the ball back, but even if Princeton kneels the ball 3 times, they'll take all 3 of those timeouts, and then West would have to score twice with 3 minutes and no timeouts, and have already gotten 1 onside kick and would likely need another.
So if you just happen to just join us, first of all, you can go back and watch this game in full at ICRC-TV.com. And what an exciting game it's been. Princeton jumped out to a 20-3 lead. Lakota was able to get a touchdown before halftime, make it 20-10. Princeton then fired back in the third quarter off a couple of turnovers to go up 34-10. Lakota came back 34-17.
Yeah, and then down, 41-23, ended up punting the ball with about 6 minutes left. Thought the game was going to be over, but
played some good defense.
Princeton still throwing the ball on 3rd down. Worked for them early in the game, but then Jerem was picked off. West scored, got the onside kick, and now he's driving down. Did miss the 2-point conversion, though, so no opportunity to kick the field goal here. Going to need 2 touchdowns.
The stands are thunderous right now as the fans are stomping their feet. Bolden back to throw. It's a quick throw. It's dropped by Riesenberg right through his hands. Turnover on downs. That might be the final nail in the coffin for your Princeton Vikings to seal the deal here.
Yeah, and you can see the throw there. It's been so good this second half.
Little tip there by number 77.
Yeah, and that might have been what took it offline. Looked like it went just behind it, but yeah, it was tipped at the line, and I think that kind of pushed it off target.
You got to go back to that throw in the end zone that went right through Riesenberg's hands. That would have been a touchdown. But great defense by the Vikings when they needed the most. And now, really about a first down will just about end this thing.
Yeah, just 2 minutes and 39 seconds left. West, only 2 timeouts left, so only 2 more chances to stop this. So either way, unless there's a turnover, Princeton can get the ball under 2 minutes.
Here's Thomas Boyd. He stopped. Lakota West will immediately call it timeout. Let's dangerously try to do math again here. Just hypothetically, if Lakota West can stop them on all 3 plays here, I think Lakota will get the ball with about a minute 40 left, maybe a minute 30.
Yeah, so if you look at it they've shown about 7 seconds of play, so you would get about 21 seconds off plus the 40-second runoff for the 1 timeout that they don't have. So, yeah, about a minute 30, minute 40 left. And down 12, you're going to need 2 touchdowns and likely after a punt. So you're going to have to go at least 45 yards plus get an onside kick and go another 45 or 50 yards.
But nonetheless, we were presented with an entertaining game tonight. It was 34-10, and I thought maybe we were done and we were going to start having an update with you with World Series scores or whatever.
Yeah, it looked like the game was going to be over a couple times. It was 20-3 early. I mean, Princeton has been up by 20 points a couple of times, but the one thing I will give West credit for is no quitting them, and they almost got the game back to about 4 or 5 points here.
Picked up there by the Lakota West defense. That was Durham that kept it. And I think Bolden might save his last time out for after third down if they can stop him. No. So 3rd and 5. No timeout called by Bolden yet. He's got one more. He's going to save it for after the third down play if this defense can come up with a stop.
Yeah, and you wonder here, a couple of yards there by Durham. So if they can get this first down, then that'll be the game. Maybe one more timeout will be called, but they'll just have to kneel it a couple times and come out with a huge win for them that, will boost their playoff stock.
High snap, gives it to Boyd. He's stuffed in the middle. He's still trying to push the pile. Inching closer to the first down mark. They don't get it. Bolden immediately calls a timeout with 1:39.
And, looking at some of the projections this morning, they projected for West to win this game, but they had West going in the playoffs as the 5 seed, Princeton as the 7 seed. But I think with a win here, they probably cement themselves, which is probably pretty good for them, with another home game next week against Mason. But Mason, a team kind of teetering on the edge, maybe just with a slim hope for the playoffs. So they're definitely going to come in hungry. So it would be nice for Princeton if they can take care of business here and probably feel confident about having their playoff spot all set up going into Week 10. Baby Shark going on by the Princeton band right now. You gotta love it. Probably going on quite a bit in Washington right now.
I coach on the youth level, and you have to get CPR certified. And that's the new thing for CPR certification, is you do it to the Baby Shark. Interesting tidbit of useless knowledge for tonight.
There you go. CPR to Baby Shark, giving them some football updates and some CPR tips as well.
Ooh, that one was almost blocked. It's a short kick, fair catch, and he muffed it. And Afari is able to get it, and they'll have 1:29 to work from their own 48-yard line. They have to have 2 touchdowns. Here's the replay here.
And almost disastrous play for Princeton on the block that could have led to a very quick touchdown, and almost a disastrous play for West as the ball goes over Afari's head and he's able to gather it. But, that with only 1:29 left, every yard counts, and they lost about 10 on that muffed punt there. So very difficult situation here for West. Only a minute 30 left. Going to have to get a touchdown, get an onside kick, and get another touchdown.
So here's Bolden with Afari in motion. He throws, and it's Riesenberg just out of his reach. Hit his hands. I'm going to tell you, if it hit your hands, you should catch it, but
that one would have been a tough catch regardless. I don't know. Seemed like Riesenberg maybe cut off that route a little bit. Once again, it's kind of been like a broken record, but West is more of an option team, so when they start to throw the ball, you wonder how much practice they've had. So some of these routes might not be as crisp, and that can lead to overthrows or routes not being quite what you think they are.
You got 6'3" Alex Safari up there up top. I'm taking a deep shot with him, just throwing it out there. And Riesenberg is just having a horrible fourth quarter. He's had a really good game, but his fourth quarter has just been one to forget. As he dropped that one in the end zone, he just drops this one now.
Yeah, I mean, he was their one real reliable receiver for a while, The Afaris hadn't really gotten up to speed as they did in the fourth quarter, and he was one of those guys that was keeping the offense going, making those little, 5-yard catches and then, running forward for another couple yards. But he's unfortunately really struggled here at the end of the game, with a couple critical drops.
There's Bolden over the middle with David Afari. There's a flag coming in, and the Viking defender might have been a little early.
We'll see. It was right behind the play, so
yeah, he's signaling pass interference defense. So that'll give him 15 and a first down, as the Lakota West Firebirds are just barely clinging to life. They need a little bit more of that Baby Shark.
Yeah, they're definitely going to need something at this point, but only 1:13 left, are able to get the first down, but gonna need to speed it up here. With every second that pumps off this clock is just another blow to their chances of winning.
Got both the Afaris up top. He's going over the middle looking for Riesenberg. Riesenberg can't even reach for it. It's over his head. So 2nd and 10 coming up. 1:08 left to go here in the game. Lakota West just will not go away.
No quitting this team. I mean, it seems like several times in this game they've been down and out and they've been done, but they've fought themselves back to respectable scores and a couple chances to be right back in it. So see what they can do now. Can't count them out quite yet.
Throw. It's hard to tell which Afari that was intended for. Looked like it could have been overthrown, intended for Alex Afari, and David Afari ended up nearly catching it, but couldn't get a foot down in bounds.
Yeah, they kind of crossed each other at the top of the screen, and it looked like the throw went right to the middle of the cross where they were. So not real sure what happened there, but that'll make it 3rd and long here for Lakota West.
So here's Bolden on 3rd and 10. He's getting pressure. It's Darian Henry. When he makes a throw, and that's a first down, that's Riesenberg.
And good poise there by Bolden,
He has Darian Henry hanging off his shoulders.
Having big Darian Henry running after him, that can sometimes force you into some bad throws, but he's able to get the ball away with an arm on his back and move the chains there.
There's Bolden. Looks short for David Afari, who makes the catch, and they're going to call him in bounds. They're going to have to hurry up. Bolden wants to know why he wasn't called out of bounds, and referee says, hey, he fell down in bounds, so keep it running.
Yeah, just 30 seconds left.
Riesenberg with the catch and a touchdown. Firebirds.
Able to finally make that catch after a couple drops, but...
So Mitch Bolden and his father, Tom Bolden, and these Firebirds, they're not done yet. They'll have one more chance with an onside kick.
Yeah, and we'll need one of these extra points here if they want a shot at winning. Have missed an extra point and a 2-point conversion so far in this game.
There's the replay of the touchdown as the Viking defense went aggressive on the throw, and it just went over their heads.
Yeah, trying to make a big play and pick it off, but that one just gets right over their head. And
that one looked like it might have went left. It's no good.
Yep, that one gets, so now we got a 6-point game with just 22 seconds left, and
so now
no idea what's going to happen now. Probably an onside kick, but with a 6-point game, if Lakota West can get it back, they can have a chance to tie or even take the lead.
What could you imagine? Overtime here at this game tonight after a 34-10 lead?
Man, that would take a whole lot out of the crowd and probably the Viking team. All the momentum with West here, but if Princeton can just find a way to jump on the ball, then they're one kneel down away from getting to 6-3 and
so now you got to look at your special teams.
Being thankful.
You got to look at your special teams. Do they have more than one onside kick play in their playbook?
Yeah, and that you don't know. I mean, obviously Tom Bolden, one of the best around here. So prepared for anything, but you wonder.
He's currently lining up the same exact way he did the previous kick.
And you're interested to see if they can repeat, because that was almost a perfect kick the first time. And sometimes when you're trying to get the ball into the ground like that, it's tough to do what he did time and time again.
It is the same kick, and way too early for the Firebirds to touch it.
No. Oh, no, there is a flag on the play. No, doesn't look to be a flag in the play. Looked like they got there just past 10 yards.
No, they're going to talk about it. I can guarantee you they're going to give this to Princeton. They're going to talk about it. They're going to give this to Princeton. He touched it way too early.
Yeah, looked like
the near line judge has it.
Yeah, it looks like it bounced off him at about the 49-yard line.
So
needs to go over the 50.
There's the illegal for the illegal touch.
Yeah. You can see the little almost fake out by by one of the Lakota West upmen to kind of take his hands off like he didn't quite touch it, but it did kind of hit him in the thigh, so
now
will be illegal touching.
A simple kneel down here.
So after a wild game with a couple of onside kicks and a late flag thrown, it looks like that'll finally be it as Princeton just one kneel down away.
And just for safety, Thomas Boyd will run back up 20 yards. Victory formation, there's the kneel down, and what a game. Greg, I mean, 34-10, and Lakota West is able to put up a lot of points here late, but too little too late.
Yeah, very impressive showing by the Princeton offense, able to get up and down the field. Defense able to force turnovers, but even in a loss, nice to see no quit by the Lakota West Firebirds, able to fight back into this game till the end and make this an interesting game till the last 22 seconds. So definitely a fun one, and interested to see what both these teams do in Week 10 and beyond, as they both look poised for playoff seeds in the OHSAA Division I playoffs.
Well, 41-35 again is your final as you take a look at some final highlights here. For Greg Miller, I'm Ryan McGahey. For Dean Lowry down in the truck, Frank Knight, all of our volunteers, and a special thanks to Princeton City Schools and all of the communities that make up that Princeton City School District. Thank you for watching Friday Night Football on ICRC-TV. Good night.